So Wraparound started in California in 1997 through Senate Bill 163, and it was really based on the idea that a lot of these children in foster care or at risk of foster care going into group homes were going through a revolving door, and they weren't finding permanent placements or long-term placements for these kids. And so because of those findings, the state approved this bill, and so now we have what's called Wraparound, which is considered more of a process.
So Wraparound is a home-based program that was developed to keep children in their home. When children are experiencing significant problems either within the home, within the community, within school, Wraparound sends a team of professionals into the home to build on their strengths to help the family support that child and be able to remain in the home. The Wraparound program consists of a parent partner who works specifically with the parent, a child and family specialist who works specifically with the child, and a facilitator who, in our experience, is coordinating the care for that entire family.
So the facilitator is usually the first person that gets in contact with the family. They're the first ones that get the referral. After that, you're the one responsible for setting up the meetings with the families. You're like a case manager, so you're responsible for talking to the social worker what needs to get done.
The facilitator is responsible for ensuring that the children and families are receiving the care that they're supposed to be receiving, such as making sure that they're being seen by different service providers, and also ensuring that they're meeting the goals that they're creating for themselves as a family.
It's also my responsibility to document the process. We create a plan of care. We meet weekly and create a set of minutes from the meetings to document the strategies that are working and what's not working.
So they work with the family, identify strengths, and then they create a plan that allows the children to stay in the home and become successful.
The Child Family Specialist provides guidance, direct services and supports to children and their families in a variety of settings.
Well, my role as a CFS is to participate in a Child Family Specialist meeting, to create a plan of care and a safety plan, also to work directly with the child and family and link it in the community.
As a CFS, I see the kid one-on-one. Sometimes maybe have to go up to the school. I go to the home, wherever the kid is at, so I can do my one-on-one. I take the kid out. We go out to the community. I show the kids things that maybe they've never seen. Help the kids with coping skills, talk to the kids, find out what's going on with them.
To maintain high functioning at school, in the home, and their overall social environment. That child and family specialist is really an ally. They're an advocate for that child. And these are children who maybe have not been used to that, and they don't have the ability to vocalize what they need. So that's what that team player is really doing with that child.
The parent-partner role is to work with the parent to teach the parent the skills that they need to work with the child in a different way. So it's taking on what they already developed, how they raised their child, what has worked, but building upon that.
A parent-partner role is to provide support and hope for the parent. Walk with them hand in hand through their journey until they're comfortable walking on their own.
Parent Partner offers support for parents and enhances their parenting skills through linkages offering strategies on how to cope with the children.
As a parent partner, I provide the parent with community resources, providing them with information to food banks, going to school, supporting them in courts, or providing them with any of their needs within their community.
And so the parent partner's role is really important because they are a success story. They've been through similar situations and they bring that experience to their work. And so that really helps the conversation and the wraparound process flow better. It keeps the fidelity to that wraparound model.
So Wraparound is a mental health program at its core. So we provide a lot of social services, a lot of case management, community support. We address all domains in a child and family's lives, but mental health services is part of that service provision.
Well, being a therapist for Wraparound is dealing with not just one person, but dealing with the whole family.
So you're having to do a lot of case management, but you're also having to kind of share your treatment plan. You're having to share some of the things that you're doing in session. And I think that some therapists are just not really used to that.
Therapists work strictly with the Wraparound team, with the facilitator, the parent partner, and the child and family specialist, and usually collaborate on the creation of therapeutic goals.
And they're developing goals based on the child's diagnosis. For example, if they happen to be oppositional defiant or one of those DSM classifications, they would develop strategies to work with the family, the team, and the child themselves.
Also, you're doing therapy wherever the client is. That's another thing. So the client is in the hospital, if the client is, at school, if the client is getting out of school, if the client is, in someone's home. I mean, you're really following this client and providing the best services that you possibly can.
And the ultimate goal is that the child is successful in functioning at home, at school, and in the community.
When a case begins, we start off by making sure we contact the family within 5 days. And after doing that, we set up an appointment to go meet with them. It can be somewhat intimidating for a team of people, a team of strangers to come into someone's home and to meet with the family. And we try our best to make the family comfortable, meeting all the new team members and explaining our roles, and also discuss how many times a week we'll be meeting with the family. Each team member has their own plan with someone in the family. The parent partner will meet with the parent, and the CFS will meet with the child.
Together they develop their mission, which is the vision, the long-term vision while they're in Wraparound, and what they want to see for that child or adolescent, where they want to see that growth, as well as the family, what the family's needs are.
So during a child and family team meeting, known as a CFT, they're working on developing the services, evaluating the services, and helping the family connect to informal supports and activities within their own community. So we want to build on the family's strengths, and that's all discussed in the child and family team meeting. The child, the family, the members of their community that they believe are important participate in the child and family team meeting to develop the plan and activities that are going to help them reach their goals.
I think a good wraparound team is made of good communication, everybody working together, everybody staying on the same page, everybody having accountability for their role.
And to be constantly discussing and sharing important things about the case. And each team member provides their own perspective on how the case is being approached.
Just being able to have good rapport with the families and with one another, because it resembles in the meetings. If you have good rapport, then the family catches on. It's good chemistry, and then you're able to work together.
A good team values WRAP's mission to whatever it takes for the family to succeed, and internally it helps to get along with your teammates, to take the time to get to know them, and always be respectful to them.
And to understand the multicultural personalities, because I believe that everybody was raised in a different, believe different customs, in order to provide the best for our families.
The most challenges are when the families are a bit resistant to your services. You have to explain to them the process and the benefits of having wraparound, and it's sometimes hard for them to understand. So it's hard when they don't want to meet, they don't want to participate in the program, getting a lot of resistance, or say the child doesn't want to be involved. So it's really hard to engage the family.
Communication with social workers can be one of the most challenging things. We do communicate via email and it's easier, but sometimes you need an immediate response and immediate action. So that's been really challenging, finding placements for kids when it's needed and appropriate, and accessing extra funding when WRAP can only do so much and the family needs additional support.
The families that we work with are very diverse, and there are different things that come up within the family structure. So sometimes we do have parents who have mental health concerns and different diagnosis.
My challenge as a CFS working in the Wraparound Program is when the client don't want to participate. That could be because they have a lot of anger because they've been forced to participate. And my challenge is to come up with some ideas, some strategies to motivate the client to engage in the program.
My biggest challenge is working with undocumented families because the resources are very limited. My most challenging case would be a father that uses crystal meth, and he's an addict, where he has stopped meeting with the WRAP team and has decided that he's not going to meet with the WRAP team, and he's still using, and decided not to do any of his parenting classes, any of the mandate classes that he has to do from court, and will not be able to get his children back.
So the most challenging case I've ever had being here at IMCS was when we had this 16-year-old. He was a gang member. We've had him for about 2 months. He was not going to school. He was always stitching, always doing all the drugs. And one day he got home like around 1 p.m. really intoxicated, and mom called me. He could barely stand, so then she called the ambulance, and when I showed up to the home, they already had taken him to the hospital. So I took mom to the hospital over there, and when we arrived, he was asleep. He had just been detoxicated with charcoal all over his mouth. It's really black. We were there from 1. He didn't wake up until I want to say 8 p.m. We started talking to him and what made him, take so many drugs at one point. They did do a toxicology report, and it came out that he had marijuana, he had crystal meth, he had cocaine and alcohol in his system.
Well, one of the challenges cases that I had a long time ago, but I think maybe 3 years ago, is when this client, I believe he was in a residential placement, like 2 times out of the state and 1 time in California. The problem that this client had is a behavioral problem, severe behavioral problems. He didn't want to get up and go to school. He was in mental health services as well, but he didn't want to participate at all. So what happened, one on a weekend, his mom called me, I don't remember exactly what time was it. He's asking me for help, for support. He didn't know what to do. The children, they were fighting, kicking to each other, throwing things around. So what I did, I called my partner, and then we went over there. As soon as we arrived over there, we could hear the situation, the chaotic that they have. They were screaming, yelling to each other. And then finally the mom opened the door, and when she opened the door, I got surprised that one of my client's brother, he had a pipe in his hands. He wanted to hit everybody. I really, to be honest, I was afraid I was going to get hit by him. So what I did, I called the police. The police arrived at home, and then he ended up being arrested, and then he ended up in the hospital because he has some bruises, he has a black eye. But at the end of the situation, we were able to stabilize the situation. Everybody was calm and talking about it, but it was really a challenge situation for me and my partner.
In this case, during the meeting, mom felt that the child had misspoken and began screaming at her and became very irate because she felt like she had disrespected her. And the WRAP team tried to calm mom down. We also really model positive communication while we're meeting with these families. So in this situation, mom was very, very upset and decided to leave the meeting. But before that, she told us that she no longer wanted her children and that we should call the Department of Children and Family Services and have them come pick them up. And she walked out of the hotel. A lot of the times there are rewards that are immediate. There's some that are happen within the time you are with the family, and then there are rewards that occur at the end. For instance, in the beginning, you come in, you see a family that may have lost hope, and you come in and you explain to them the program and explain the success rate of the program and discuss different things that you'll be working with them. And at times you can see that they actually have now gained a new sense of hope within their family.
So it's really, at the end of the day, makes everything worth it, the 24/7, to just see them meet their goals, whether it's something as simple as passing other classes or being able to express themselves without hurting themselves. So I think that at the end of the day makes everything worth it.
My reward to be working as a CFS in a wraparound program is when my clients met their goals. That's when I feel really satisfied that I did something for them, that I was able to guide them, to teach them, to support them in a different ways in order to function in society.
The reward is really seeing them evolve into a happy, empowered, successful person full of self-esteem that can now see a bright future ahead of them.
Definitely that you're making an impact in the communities. I take it very personal because I grew up in these communities and I see the unfortunate things that families have to go through, and it makes me feel better about myself that I'm making a difference out there.
The biggest reward for me would be seeing these families made a big difference, a big change in their lives, with RAP in their life.
Le doy gracias al programa que me ha ayudado a sentirme apoyada como madre, a tener más comunicación, a ser más organizada, a entender mejor a mis hijos. También le he ayudado mucho a mi hija. Antes ella iba mucho a los hospitales, ahora tiene 1 año de no ir al hospital, tiene mejor comunicación con sus hermanos, está más involucrada en la escuela. Recomiendo este programa a otras familias que están pasando momentos difíciles en sus vidas. El programa me ha ayudado mucho con la educación de mi nieto, porque por sus comportamientos que tiene en la casa, y lo bueno del Wraparound Team es el que uno tiene con quien poder comunicarse como el parent partner, y eso me ha ayudado mucho para cuando tengo alguna emergencia o algo.
The hope with Wraparound, and really the long-term view, is remembering that when we go into the families' homes, there's always a long-term view, and that's their resiliency. That's their ability to advocate for themselves, the ability to pull upon their informal supports and their resources to maintain a functioning household.
The goal is to raise healthy, successful, competent children and to keep them in their own home and within their own communities, so that they're not having to be placed in hospitals, group home placements, institutional care. And so they keep their natural supports that are available to them, and they stay within their own communities and families.